Hello everyone, my name is Samyam and I'm currently enrolled in IIT Sydney pursuing my master's degree on Masters of Technology specialization in software engineering. uh, I am I'm now on my final semester of this course in which we have a subject ITECH 7415. In this subject we have to take on a project and finish it in required time in order to graduate from graduate with degree. And so as required by the course, I along with the other three students from the group and took on a project to build a web portal. In this project, I had the role of the scrum master to finish the project. And as I am from software engineering branch, I looked after the coding part of the project and actively involved in various tasks. And the project we are working on was to build a web portal for LX Landscape Services, which is a proficient landscape services business committed to supplying high quality garden design and cares. The main aim of the project was to build an online portal for customers and provide the best customer experience to shop online and get instant quotes of the scope of the works they offer. And the main theme of the web portal was to able to access other of the division, which are construction and maintenance division, and the other services. The customer must authenticate their name, phone number, email address, location of the site in this form, so that the supervisor can inform the customer with ease and also fix the meetings in the future if needed. So is required by the client, the pages or the screens of the web portal should be divided into four major tasks or the pages that are the main page, and which include logo and the main menu, which was about the services and the sitemap and the search items. And there would be a sign in page also, and the guest browsing also without logging in, and the customer registration block, and advice on the garden care, and which also included the different types of images, and also the dashboard page, uh, which showed the work completed, site address, and pictures for quality work, and pictures of provided guarding ideas, and the member account details such as monthly billing for maintenance customers, secured customer work details, purchase history, change password, and update their address and other informations. And the scope of the project was to design the systems which ensured that the developed system can be scaled for future enhancements, and the project documentation for the landscape work process requirements. So we designed end-to-end process document for the customer perspective on what to expect of the course work of the comment work upcoming after the work finishes, and also the security folder for customers showing that development of the work stage by stage before and after the photos of the each stage. And there should be also online payment system such as credit card via or like PayPal system. And majorly there would be three key users, that is supervisor, staff, and customer login. So at first we made the project storyboard and the project roadmap, and all the important user stories which were already included in the project storyboard and project roadmap. So after creating our storyboard and the project roadmap, we started our sprint and divided the task to complete in all those sprints. So we divided the task, and on our first sprint, the theme of the sprint was to create an online admin console to successfully log in the web application system for registered admin or supervisor. And also the wish list was to create and test the complete user login database with the functionality to reset password through user code verification through mail and database modeling. And in this sprint we divided the task among our four members, and specifically for me, I did certain tasks to complete the sprint one, and the tasks I did in the sprint one were to create a username and password in login table set by only a supervisor, send mail function send mail function to supervisor to all the users, and role-wise authorization whether the user can or cannot create another user, and also the selection of database relation database which were done by all of us, and I also designed the database for login system. And finally, in sprint one, I was involved in the creation of user login table in the database with username and password field. So after completing sprint one, we learned various things, and the things that most matter is that a good communication between the team members, and also to follow the agile methods, and have a good work frame rate. And the sprint, and after that we started sprint 2, and the theme of the sprint 2 was to create a login page for admin, and also to create a secure online payment system for registered users. And the wish list for this for this sprint was to create and test the admin login page and create a landing page for payment system. And in this sprint, the task for me was to implement the database and service to get the guesstimate for the services, and also implement the secure database for to store the customer details, and test the payment gateway for being secured, also test the functionality of the user to check any past transaction done, and test the functionality for the offers to be deleted once they are expired immediately, and also to implement the code to edit customer information such as name, address. And then after completing the sprint 2, we had certain problems in integrating and testing. It took us a certain period of time, but we fixed the integration, and all the functionalities developed in sprint 1 and sprint 2, we integrated it properly and tested it properly. After that, we started our final sprint, that is sprint 3. And on sprint 3, the theme of the sprint 3 was to create a system to get instant codes of the landscaping services, online payment system, and conduct system integration and testing along with the final product demonstration. Also, the wish list for this was to secure and maintain data backup, migrate system into cloud-based services like AWS and Microsoft Cloud. During this sprint, during the certain sprint 3, I worked on the implementation of the contact us phase for exchanging information between supervisor and the customer, and implementation of the roughly estimate cost to show the customer, and insertion of the estimated price into database according to the services, implementation of roles of different users like employee, supervisor, and everything. Also, the implementation of code to store employee information, personal password, and etc. Implementation of code to show all the services in the home page, and implementation of the code where employee can only view the details but cannot edit anything. So after we finish this sprint 3, we integrated everything and tested it properly, and the product worked fine. And we meanwhile we're also working on the documentation part. So after finishing the sprint 3 and finalizing the product, we worked on finalizing the documentation part of the project, which included introduction about the project objectives, related academic and commercial research, project methodology and requirement analysis, system design, different UML diagrams, and model descriptions, and undertaken timelines, testing and strategies, and different testing types, and finally the conclusion, findings, limitation, and recommendation for the project. So these were all the things we did in the project, and we as a team worked together. We followed all the agile methods, and I as a scrum master myself helped to help the team to get the scrum to follow the agile methods properly. So after finally doing this project, I would like to say that we gained a real life experience while developing the project, and we also learned various things about the projects and the technology. Doing this project definitely improve our skills and will help us to land a good job in the coming future. And I would also like to say thanks to our supervisor, the clients, and for all the guidance and the support, and also all our teachers and mentors who have and assisted in completion of our project, which will often definitely help me um, graduate from graduate with a master's degree. Thank you.